Hi guys, hi. Hi. You can talk to me, it's not a YouTube video. You guys know that, right? So hi. Hi, fantastic. So this is good. My name is Suhas Navarathna. I have a very unconventional career. I'm a stand-up comedian. How many of you feel like you're going to grow up and have an unconventional career? You know, like filmmakers, painters, writers. Show of hands. Not all of you are going to make it. I'm telling this to you right off the top. No, it's actually true, man. You can make it if you put your mind to it. But I am a stand-up comedian, and I know it's an unconventional career because when I tell people that I'm a stand-up comedian, they don't believe that it is my career. Usually after a show, they come up to me and they're like, "Sir, your jokes and all were very good, but what do you do for a living?" This is what I do for a living. And they will pretend like as though I have not understood the question. They will look at me like, "Sir, no, I'm not talking about this. This is your hobby, right? I'm talking about what you do for a living. Are you a software engineer? Are you a lawyer? Are you a doctor?" I'm like, "No, this is it." And if it's an IT employee, it usually blows their mind. They'll be like, "So you're getting paid for telling jokes?" I'm like, "Yeah." "How much do you get paid?" I always lie. I say 40,000 per month. He loses his shit. He's like, "Oh my God, I have to go back on Monday and see my ugly boss." That's how it works, guys. I'm actually happy that you've called me here because usually parents don't want me around their children. It's not because when I was in school, right, I used to be a good student. I used to ace my examinations. I used to ace my, and I had a strong command over the English language. So every single parent in my neighborhood made their children join the same school that I did. They made them join the same college that I did. And then I dropped out of college and became a stand-up comedian. Now, whenever parents look at me and if they see me on the street, they do something that I would like to call the parental above turn. They'll come, if they see me, "Oh." Some parents, like, if their kids are with them, they'll grab them. They're like, "No, not you." Usually happens like that. And here's the thing, I'm going to tell you that this is hard. What I'm doing, it is pretty hard. I'm not going to lie to you. Not much money when you start off. And also, because let me tell you, my bank balance has rarely increased the length of my ATM pin. It's been that way for a very long time, right? So, but that's the thing. You know what's worse is that I've chosen this unconventional career, but not many of my friends haven't. You know, they have chosen these conventional careers. And the biggest problem I have is social media. Because you get to see them upload their photos. They are like, photos of them buying cars, photos of them going on vacation, photos of them scuba diving, skydiving. And it frustrates me. If I see a friend scuba diving, I'm like, I hope that oxygen tank runs out of oxygen. Like if he's like, skydiving, they're like, I'm like, I hope that parachute doesn't open. Very frustrating. And it's a horrible position to be in, right? Like wishing death upon the person who you used to hang out with. It's not a good mindset. And you know what's even worse? My mom is also on social media. She knows this stuff too. She comes up to me, she's like, "Look, that guy got a car, where is your car? That guy got a job, where is your job? That guy got a promotion, where is your promotion? That guy got married, where is your marriage? That guy got divorced. Where is your divorce?" I'm like, "I've not even been married." Exactly. It's really hard. But that's the thing. It took me a long time to figure this. So to overcome materialism, I think you need 3 things. Number 1, patience. Number 2, will. And number 3, delusion. You have seen all these successful people, yeah, right? Most of them thoda yeda hota hai. You need that. Number 1, patience. You need to know that whatever it is that you're doing, it will take time. And you're going to have to invest time within that. And no matter how long it takes, you are going to stop only when that job is finished. Patience. Number 2, will. Vince Lombardi once said that the only difference between a successful person and an unsuccessful person is not the lack of knowledge, but is the lack of sheer will. And number 3, delusion. Delusion wherein you think that one day you are going to be the best at whatever it is that you're doing. It's true. People say that you shouldn't have delusion. I say you need it. Oh yeah, I can only speak from experience. So I'm going to tell you guys this actual thing, right? I started doing stand-up comedy about 4 years ago. And it started off because I saw a stand-up comedy show and I was amazed. The first time I saw a show, I laughed so hard that my jaws hurt. And then I watched 3 more shows, and while the comedian was on stage, my delusion kicked in. I was like, you know what? This guy is good, but I think I'm better. And then it goes up a notch. You're like, you know what? Not just him. I think I'm better than all the people here. It goes up a notch. You know what? I think I'm going to be the best at this. And immediately, I went to my first stand-up comedy open mic night. I called a comedian friend of mine called Kritat, and I was like, how long do we get to perform? He's like, 4 minutes. I was like, 4 minutes? That's all you're giving me? I mean, an artist needs more than 4 minutes. You know, how will I tell you about my life's problems in just under 4 minutes? It's impossible. This is preposterous. He looked at me and he just said, first you try 4 minutes and see. I went to the open mic, and everyone who you guys know is at that open mic. This was 4 years ago. There's Kanan Gill, there's Biswa Kalyanrath, there's Kenny Sebastian. All of them. And I'm trying it out for the first time. I look at them, it's intimidating. And they go up and they destroy. Now, destroy is a term we use for comedians who do really well. And then they call me up. I go up with full arrogance and entitlement. I deliver my first joke. The audience looked at me like as though I asked them their kidneys. It was horrible. And that's when I truly realized those 4 minutes up on stage felt like a lifetime. I could have quit. But I was like, no, I was good in studies. I got awards in plays. I was on my school debate team and my college debate team. I was successful at anything that I put my head to, except this. So immediately, I wanted to get good at this. Will and delusion. Now here's the thing. I started attending open mics and I dropped out of college, so I had no form of income. So without income, my parents were paying me money for the transport to go to these open mics. And at one point, a year and a half in, my mom lost hope. She stopped paying me money for transportation. And she thought that if she stops paying the money for transportation, this guy will stop going to the open mic. He'll probably go back to college and finish his degree. I didn't. I started walking to the open mics for a week. Every single day, 2 hours to the open mic, 2 hours coming back. Because you know why, right? That sheer willpower, and also the delusion that if I don't go to this open mic, then the world will be devoid of a great artist. I know I'm not that good right now, but I will be, no? If I put my mind to it. Now that's the thing. There's another thing is patience. Now patience is very, very important because this is going to happen to every single one of you, whether you take an unconventional job or a conventional job. You will start seeing people who have not put in as much work as you move ahead while you remain exactly where you are. And that is very frustrating. Like, I've been doing this for 4 years, and there have been comedians who've started after me, and they have garnered and gained more success than I have. And it was frustrating at that point. It's going to happen to you too. But remember that everyone has their time. It might not happen now, it might not happen tomorrow, but it will happen. All your efforts will bear fruit. Might take a little longer. Right? Okay, I'm going to end with this last story. I had been doing this, like I told you, I've been doing this for 4 years, and I accidentally double-booked a date. Double booking is when I said yes to 2 shows on the same date at the same time in 2 different cities. I had a show in Bangalore and a show in Chennai. And that's when I realized that I've done this mistake, and I called my Bangalore producer, and I'm like, sir, I'm really sorry, it's my mistake. I told him this 10 days before the event, by the way. I told him this 10 days before the event, I'm like, I won't be able to make it. I already have my flight tickets booked to Chennai. I already have my stay sorted out. I will not be able to come for the show. And the producer was gracious. He was like, it's okay, sir, this happens. I will find a suitable replacement for you. I thought that was the end of it. Cut to Chennai. Now, this is what before I get cut to that, I forgot to mention, this guy forgot to take my face of the poster of that show. Because in his head and mine, both of us were thinking, who will come to see this face? I can see most of you are not fans, right? But that's the thing. He forgot to take that. Cut to Chennai, I have a very good show. I walk off stage, I turn on my mobile phone, and I see 10 missed calls from the Bangalore producer. I call him and I'm like, what happened? Did the show not go well? He's like, sir, 4 of your fans showed up. And they're really mean. They caused a scene. And I'm like, listen, I don't have fans. You shouldn't be. I mean, there's a limit to joking, you know. I mean, come on. He's like, no, they actually showed up. Apparently, there was a woman who had seen me perform in Koramangala. And she actually lived in Mysore. So after she saw that performance, she liked me so much that she brought her husband, and they both drove down from Mysore, got 2 other friends from Kanakpura and Whitefield to come all the way back to Koramangala to see that show. And while this guy is pissed, he's like, oh my God, I can't, they created a scene. I, on the other end, I'm like, I have fans. This is amazing. That's the thing, right? The reason why I told you this story, other than the fact to narcissistically tell you that I do have fans, is that I made 4 fans in 4 years. I thought by this time I'll be a superstar. Clearly not happened, right? But that's the thing, patience is required. Now here's the thing. I realized that day that if you take both these stories into account, metaphorically speaking, you can always walk to where you want to be. And eventually, you will get there. Thank you so much. That's been my time.